Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Sadiq, and it is the Demetra K show. I should say right off the top that we are not live, but we'll be back live, God willing, because it's thundering and lightning here, and y'all know how it is in Houston, so it's just hard to tell. But anyway, we're here for right now. So I'd like to say a big giant thank you and welcome to Donovan. This is our podcast where we typically talk about things just between him and I, so we can, bounce ideas off or, get into some fisticuffs verbally or whatever it is. But nevertheless, I'm sure it'll be exciting. Today, we are going to be talking about that of Miss Vivica Fox, saying that she is now ready for a relationship at the age of 60 years old. And so we will listen to her tell her story, if you will. And then I'm also going to ask Donovan a question, but I won't tell him just yet. I'll put it up so he can be pleasantly surprised as he usually is. So, Donovan, what say you?
Welcome, you guys, to the Demetra K podcast. Great to have you guys back. I want you guys to remember this. If you guys watched the show Sunday, it was a very, very interactive show. It was an awesome show. The Democratic Party is very, very desperate right now, and they are paying agents and people to go on podcasts and websites and disrupt. So just be mindful of that. There was a person that was on the show, and we challenged that person. We pushed back to that person to tell us what the Democratic Party has actually done. Don't tell us why we should be scared of the Republicans and Donald Trump. Tell us why we should be voting for the Democratic Party. And that person shouldn't do that. But be aware, you've got these people that will jump into the comments to try to get us emotional and change the direction of the conversation. So just be aware of that. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app at Apple Store and Google Play. Also be aware that in the African diaspora, they are going to Ethiopia, and I believe there's about 23 seats left. If you want to go, please go check it out. Ethiopia is where the real Israelites are from and the real Jews are from. So check that out. 23 seats are left there. And do us a favor. At the bottom, you're going to see a scrolling banner, and that banner is a way you can contribute and help the content creator keep making these great videos and these great podcasts. Last but not least, do us a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe. Put this on your platforms, put it on your group platforms, and let's get the message out there. And again, I'm going to tell you guys are doing a great job in talking to these baby boomers. We know they're not going to change. A lot of them won't, but some of them will. So just keep talking the facts, and maybe they'll get it. So Demetra, my girl Vivica's still mad at me and Fiddy because we dropped her. But it's, again, isn't it amazing? They get a lot older after the war, post Kevin Samuels. Wait, is this the woman that was like telling Kevin Samuels this, that, and he hates women and all this other stuff? Even though I don't even know what we're talking about in general, that is what immediately came to my mind, because it seems to me, she is proving what Kevin Samuels was saying all along. But this is going to be interesting, so let's get into it.
All right, so I'm going to share the video. Now it's a steal of her telling the story. She's talking to Hoda and Jenna. So let's see here. Share my screen. Do it this way. I don't want to take any chances of it not playing. Okay.
I'm wanting to date. Yeah, it's limited resources out there, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not getting on an app. I just get.
You're just not.
I'm old fashioned. I'm like, I need to meet you and sparks happen and stuff like that, because I just believe people make up stories saying who and what they are.
Exactly.
And
what are you looking for at this stage, this point?
A partner.
Yeah.
And when I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not intimidated by who and what I am.
Yeah.
That likes to travel.
Yeah.
Going to let me go shopping.
Yeah. I feel like you.
Who is intimidated by?
Oops. Okay. So we remove that.
She's got that woman weight on her now. She's got that woman weight on her now. So, she still looks good. She's fuller. Remember, she used to be really thin, kind of, but now she's kind of full in the face. And all that stuff like that. She's still an attractive woman. I'm not going to take that away from her. She's, some women are just attractive all the way through. They keep themselves up. Like I said, Demetra K, Demetra's mom, Demetra's sister, Some people are just blessed like that. They're just blessed with it. But let me start off by saying this. Ladies, stop it. Stop it. Ain't no man intimidated by no woman. Just stop that talking point. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. We are similar species, but we're different species. What does a man have to be intimidated by a woman by? We're not talking just physicality. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how beautiful you look, whatever it is. I'm still a man, and it is what it is. So, that was very interesting what she was saying, how she likes to do this and that. When you get 62, just like Kevin Samuel said, most of those men are already married, or they make a certain amount of money where you're just in the rotation. And it's just funny, ladies, and for those that are listening to the podcast, those that are watching the podcast, this is the outcome of not prioritizing marriage or a man when you're at your prime peak of getting one. At 62 years old now, not saying that she can't get a man, but it's going to be very difficult because you get a certain age, you're kind of stuck in your ways. You don't want to change. You think you know what it is. You figured out what worked for you. And to bring another entity into your sphere is very disruptive, even if it's in the smallest of disruption. And it's going to be very difficult because at 62 years old, most guys in her age range are usually married, and in her the money that she wants to do, they're not going to put up with that. They're not going to put up with her. They're not going to put up with it. It's just not going to happen. So I wish her luck. Maybe she needs, maybe she and I can get back together. I don't know, but she's going to come over here. Hey, I'm not putting up with the foolishness.
Sorry about that. I was trying to fix my screen. I'm pixeling a little bit. My shirt is actually green, but I guess it's kind of blending in. It's not supposed to. But anyway, nevertheless, all right, so let's get into it. Miss Vivica A. Fox, as y'all know, she is a very accomplished actress. She's been around for a very long time.
Former Soul Train dancer.
Yep, and all of that, right? I don't know what last relationship she had, but she was infamously tied to that of 50 Cent. Sounds like, he broke her heart or whatever the case is. And, even a couple of months or years ago, rather, she was saying how, he was kind of love of her life and she wouldn't mind being back with him, right? Okay. But she's single now. She says, I'm not getting on an app. He must be fun, loves to travel, not be intimidated by who I am, and lets me spend money going shopping. And she's open to all races. Okay.
Wait, didn't she just describe me right there, Demetra? Didn't she just describe me?
Yeah, maybe you're who she's looking for. I don't know. But so Vivica is 60 years old. And yes, she's had some run-ins with Kevin Samuels. I think Kevin Samuels took her to task. And then once Kevin Samuels passed away, she kind of mocked his death and things like that. So it was pretty contentious there. So she's finally ready to, she's looking for somebody. Now, I don't know if it's a husband or whatever, but she's looking to be in a relationship. Now, I've seen a lot of people take issue with it, as you just did, saying because, now she's settling down, the whole wall thing. She doesn't have any children, but she talks about being the auntie, if you will, to a lot of children. And there's some women who just don't have children. That's okay. But they are, mother figures to other children. So yeah, she's looking for a man. I don't have a problem with that. Of course, we know that she's had a career. And obviously she's put her career first, I guess. Some people are taking issue with that, but maybe she feels like now I'm 60 years old. I'm ready to settle down. I don't really have a lot going on anymore that would probably hinder me from being in a relationship. I don't know. I'm not speaking for her. But I like some of the stuff she said. She said he must be fun. I agree because let's keep it a buck. But let me tell y'all something. There's a lot of men out there that are not fun. Crotchety, grumpy, angry, anal, contentious. Did I say cantankerous?
More adjectives. Keep bringing it.
Crass. Make your ass itch. So yeah, they're just, and I say this a lot. I don't know. All I've dated is brothers. So I would say that a lot of brothers that I've dated are not fun. like that, just grumpy and just God's like, who, like, what happened to you? You know, like what's going on here? Like, I'm one of those people. What?
Life. That's what happened to us. Life.
Everybody got life, but it's like you don't laugh. I like to laugh. I'm a little bit silly, right? So I agree with her. I need to be with somebody who likes to laugh and have fun. It's a lot of work to be the fun one, and then you with someone the one who's not fun. It's like you always feel like you're trying to cheer them up, or you're walking on eggshells. You don't want to make them mad. So I get that. I totally agree with that. Loves to travel. I totally agree with that too. Vivica got some coins, you know, I'd imagine throughout her span of her career. She's got some money, but it sounds like she, you know, wants to get in jet set, right? Now, I'm going to keep it a bark with you. I have not dated all black men, so I'm not speaking of all black men, but most of the brothers that I have dated do not want to leave their little vicinity. You know, they don't want to go outside of the 10-mile radius of their home or their job. I'm good. I don't want to go nowhere. So a lot of times you brothers always take issue with the women, the sisters traveling by themselves, having a girls trip. I guarantee you, most of those women probably have a man at home, but he does not want to go do nothing outside of getting chicken strips at Raising Cane or Zaxby's or McDonald's. I'm just telling you. So they're like, okay, bet y'all down for a trip to Jamaica. You know, I'm just saying, because he don't want to go nowhere. And I know that was true for me with some of my relationships, just did not want to venture out to do nothing. And then the part where she says, not intimidated by who I am. I know y'all men think that men cannot be intimidated by women. That's bullcocker. Y'all are intimidated by women. Maybe not you, but there's a lot of men. Yes, it is. There's a lot of men, because I've had that happen to me. Men who are intimidated because you're doing something that you're walking in your God-given talent, whatever it is. And I'm not talking about, boy, shut up. I you know, got these degrees, and I ain't talking like women like that. Okay. I'm talking about you doing your God-given talents and gifts. And this is the problem, though, where the intimidation comes in at. It's because a lot of times, whether it's a man or a woman, you're doing something, right? But then you get with somebody who's like, I'm not trying to go nowhere. Is it outside of the 10-mile radius that I'm usually? Then I don't want to do it, right? So you're not paired with somebody who is chasing their goals and their dreams as well. So that's, I think, where the intimidation comes in here. A lot of men say, I don't want to be the woman who's making more money than me. It's like, so you mad at this woman because she's making more money than you? It's kind of silly. Then she says, go shopping. Yeah, so it sounds like she wants a man to spend some coins on her. I want to go shopping. Lastly, she says she's open to all races. Y'all do with that what you want. So.
All right. I took some notes. Let me correct you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You can try.
You women always do this, and it's one of the big mistakes. Mm-hmm. You guys antiquate a guy because he has a genitalia to a man. If a man is intimidated by a woman, that's not a man. Because a real man, in my definition, you're not intimidated by anything. If she's got money, great. That enhances you and stuff like that. A man leads, and anything that comes into his sphere, right? His sphere of influence, that's an enhancement to him and to them as a whole. You know, you guys always take these simp men and you go, well, those are all men. Well, not all men, but you guys say men. Those aren't men. Those just aren't men. You know, and it's offensive to qualify men like that with real men. See, like I said, I would date Vivica Fox right now and wouldn't give a damn. She makes way significant more money than I do. Way significant more money than that. But because I'm a real man, it don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. We want to go on trips, baby. Look, this is what I make. This is what you make. Let's go. Simple as that, you know. But the sad thing with Vivica Fox, of course, you're open to all races and stuff now because you're post-wall. The options within our community is very limited. There's not a lot of brothers that are living past 50 something years old. We're dropping down, and you know, we burn the candles at both ends and all that other stuff. So, you know, she has to expand her horizons and do that. But to me, she should have done that when she was younger. She should look at Halle Berry. She ain't no quitter. she's dated him all under the sun, all of them, you know, but she's no quitter. She's still going strong. Of course, she's still paying that child support and stuff like that. But, you know, she's got to do what she's got to do. But the point is, you know, you know, what I'm going to say, and I know I'm kind of joking about it. What I'm going to say is, here is another example, young ladies, of what not to do. You are in your prime. A lot of you guys get degrees. You go to college. Where the hell are you going to find these six-figure men that are at the top of their game or will be at the top of their game than when you're in college? And I'm speaking to my people first. Why is it that you can go to school for 4, 8 years, get a master's degree, and still not come out of college with a guy that is on pair with you going in the same direction, but you come out and you get with Ray Ray and Pookie and you're mad about the situation that you chose for yourself when you're in an institution that is surrounded by successful young dudes? All I'm saying is this: Vivica Fox is a prime example. All of the success in the world, all of the masters and the PhD degrees in the world, that's good and great for self-fulfillment. But your PhD can't hug you at night. Your PhD can't change the oil in your car. Your PhD can't go on those, well, it could go on the trip with you, but it's not the same thing. You know, we got to prioritize relationships and building them in your prime. I'm sorry, when you're post-wall and you're 60-something years old, let's just be real, ladies. If I offered you a Mercedes 2025 or a Lexus 1998, what are you going to pick? You're going to pick the 2025 every time because it's a newer model. That's just the nature of the beast. Just the nature of the beast. So what I'm telling my ladies in my community is, if the other groups are doing it, we could chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. We could do the exact same thing. And stop listening to these old, bitter aunts. Vivica Fox was an example. She was all head over heels on Kevin Samuels, and she proved him right again. Cautionary tale, ladies.
So let me correct you a little bit, brother. Okay. First of all, I want to address this wall. The wall is a figment of y'all imagination all day long, because y'all Negroes was not talking about no wall until Kevin Samuels, RIP. Y'all wasn't talking about no wall until he made up this wall. Y'all also was not talking about how y'all need a soft life and how y'all the prize until Kevin Samuels came along either. Yes, y'all run around talking about y'all the prize. And as I said, I want to let y'all know, for you men out there talking about you the prize, is it your special time of the month too? Because that's what I hear when I hear that. Now, I'm not saying that the woman should just be the prize by herself. Y'all both the prize, but to say that woman is beneath you and you the prize and she should cut it out, okay? Now that to me, when I hear that kind of stuff, that make me question people's manhood. But again, you ain't gonna be my man, so I don't care what you do. If the woman that you with like all that, are you the prize talk from her man, then sis, go off. But as I said, this wall that y'all talk about, something that y'all made up to put a timeline on women, and let's keep it 100. We ain't talking about the 1960s like when my mama was graduating high school. When my mama was graduating high school, her and her girlfriends was talking about, yeah, we want to go get married and start a family, this, that, and the other, because in addition to, that was right around the time of feminism too. My mom graduated in 1967. However, you leaving off that these men that you talking about, they ain't necessarily checking for sisters all like they used to check for sisters. See, when my mama married my daddy, my mama had, as I tell you all the time, a full ride scholarship to Clark Atlanta, but my mom went and got her nursing degree when she met my dad, and she put that to the side to become a housewife and take care of us, right? So she felt that was more important. However, my mama was not uneducated, and to your point, she knew how to put the family above her degree. However, my dad was also willing to take care of my mother and the children that they had together. My mama wasn't out there working 50-50. And I know y'all keep talking about a real man, this, that, and the other. I think when y'all talk about a real man not making his woman pay all the bills, I think that's disingenuous, because we know, and y'all always spout the numbers off all the time. Well, the average man ain't making this, that, and the other. Well, on the average black man's income, he probably cannot take care of him, a wife, and some children. So she probably gonna have to get up out there and bring some money in too. So y'all got to start telling the whole side of the story. Along with these women who want to go chase a career or whatever. Y'all not talking about the availability of men. And then y'all sit up here and cackle and laugh, kiki and ha-ha about all those white brothers, not all, but some in those colleges running after white women, talking about it's the sisters' fault because they don't want to be with the brothers. And that's a damn lie. Talk about the brothers and sisters don't want to build with the brother or whatever. But it's like y'all forgetting that brother's black mama built him to where he was. Now, all of a sudden, he forget the power of a black woman. That's just making excuses to run off with white women. So I say all that to say, brothers, either y'all want the sisters or you don't. And as I said, no sister worth her weight is going to be working at no god doggone Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, waiting for a good brother to come swoop her up. No, she going to go get her college education, go work a job, take care of herself until further notice. So instead of you talking to the ladies, how about you talk to the men and say, hey, fellas, y'all see that good sister over there? Go on and talk to her, leave them white women alone. And when you get in the room and a company of a good sister, treat her right. Don't make her regret putting everything to the side to come, be with you. And then you show your whole behind.
Correct. Nothing that you said was not a lie. Nothing that you said was not a lie. But I will correct you on this. When you have men, because I've never heard of this soft talk stuff until recently. And till recently. And, it's not our generation. You didn't hear that in our generation. It's often like this. Now, notice we've had two
men your age talking to soft life stuff.
No. And I get it. But I'm saying in general, you didn't hear this soft type life. This stuff comes from these single mother homes that feminize these young boys. Oh, soft life, whatever. My mother, as a widowed mother, never told me, oh, yes, son, you should be out there getting a soft life and this. No, my mother said, you a man. You got to work. You got to do this. You got to get it out of the mud. It's going to be tough for you. You better make the right decision. You're going to do this. Everything was told to me that my role as a man is going to be hard, especially as a black man. Nothing was told to me was going to be soft. So this single motherhood, these men that have been raised by these single mothers by choice, that's where they're getting it from. Oh yeah, my son's a king. Oh, Deontay, you're going to be my king and you're going to be all that bullshit because a real man is not going to accept that. Don't be talking about no damn soft life. Like you said, you question when a guy talks like that. But that's where they're, in my opinion, that's where they're getting it from. When that's all you're exposed to, when mama does everything for you and kisses your ass and wipes your diaper at 17 years old, that's where they're getting that stuff from. And Kevin Samuels, and I agree with you, men should be talking to the men. And I talk to the men whenever I can, and I hold them accountable. But Kevin Samuels talked about how the Negroes, the older Negroes, our parents' generation, when the civil rights movement became something of integration and all that stuff. Let's just be real about it, Demetra. Our parents, uncles, and people of that generation, the civil rights era, the men, and I'm calling out the men. That was their excuse to go pursue interracial sex. That is why they get so mad now, because the younger generations are more exposed to it and it's more accessible to the younger generations now. That's why these older men, they're just bitter at the fact that they couldn't get to the interracial sex. And you will find, like in the 70s and stuff, it was like a door opening and these guys would run to these mixed women. Look, Marvin Gaye left his wife to go be with old girl and such and such. You know what I mean? Just all these things that were going on because it was a gateway to run after interracial sex. And until this day, you got these old men that still talk. I mean, you're a woman, Demetra, but I can say this, especially as a military man. When I talk to the older guys of our parents' generation, and we're sitting there, doing guy talk, that's all they talk about. Man, when I was in so-and-so, man, I was over there. Oh, man, I was getting me this girl, and I was getting me a Filipino girl, whatever. That was like the highlight of their career. Yeah, man, I was getting me a white girl. I got me this white girl. And it's like, okay, because we're a younger generation, it was more accessible. We're like, it's more of a normal thing to us, whereas to them, it was like, oh yeah, I can get, I can go do that, and it's just sad. So nothing that you said I don't agree with, except the fact that when you hear a lot of these younger men talking about soft era, they're getting that from coming out of these single mother households, because and not all women taught that to their sons. Like I said, my mother's a widow, and she told me to be a man.
Yeah, so I often hear that, about the single mamas. The single mamas did this, the single mamas did that, and I would concede some of that. I totally agree. Single mamas are complicit in a lot of stuff, but we talk about single mamas making the boys soft. Where they hard ass daddies at? You know what I mean? Where they daddies at to make them hard, to, put a foot to their backside to make sure that they are walking as men should walk. See, because we often talk about how a mama can raise a boy, but she cannot teach him to be a man unless she got something she want to tell us. Because as a woman, how can she raise a man to be a man if she is not that, right? So we critique single mamas, but rarely, I should say, do we ever bring that daddy into the fold? Because as I always say, can I have a single mama without an absentee father? That doesn't work without the other. So we got to ask both questions, right? The single mama by herself, okay, she's doing a terrible job for the most part. There's some single mamas that do a great job, but how good of a job would she do if she had that man, whether they together or not, to say, all right, bet, now I got him, whatever, to pour into him. And the other thing is, Kevin Samuels and the Manosphere, they started that whole, the prize and the softness and, all that other stuff. And like I said, I don't spend a whole lot of time on the internet in a whole lot of, different spaces on the internet. I hear about a lot of these things, but being a 53-year-old woman, some of these terms that I hear, I'm going to say men, women, is a whole different beast. But some of the stuff that I hear men say, I'm like, my God, my father, my brothers, I could never imagine hearing them speak like that. It's like so feminine, but that's kind of becoming normal. And then what else did you say? If people were bragging about interracial sex, and I know that they do, that is not a flex. All that does is show that you have no knowledge of self. Because why would you find something outside? We talking about the white folks, okay? Why would you go be with somebody else outside of yourself and then talk bad about the woman that was made for you? That's having no knowledge of self. Because if you had knowledge of self, then you would know, hey, I'm going to accept my own and be myself. I'm going to accept my own and be with the man or the woman that is like me. As I say, you don't see bears and antelopes running in the forest together. They don't brag about that. They're like, get the hell away from me. I'm waiting for another antelope or a bear to run up over here so we can go make a beautiful life. So again, we got a lot of critique for that single mama. But now we need to start putting some critique on that single daddy. And I heard a woman say this best. She said, I hear a lot of you men keep talking about your mamas or your single mamas and single mamas, this and single mama that. She says, you need to bring your daddy into the conversation because your daddy didn't stay. Your daddy didn't stay for whatever reason, whether he couldn't finish getting stuff about your mama or he didn't want to do what he was supposed to do. He didn't stay for whatever reason. So instead of you dragging your mama through hell and back, take your daddy along with her.
All right, I'm going to give you some pushback on that because we know a lot of these women become single mothers by choice because of whatever they're going to do. And I agree with you. Some 50% of the men didn't stay because they don't want to stay, whatever the deal is, right? Because, women control sex and whatever the deal is. And again, they're out there. Women control who has, unless it was taken from them, who they have children with. But let's be real. You like to kick those facts. Daddies didn't stay. You're being disingenuous because you're making it seem like, all the men just walk off. That is not true. A lot of these men want to stay, but these women make conscious decisions to be by themselves. And they run the guy off or whatever the deal. Or basically, they weren't even in a relationship with the guy. You know what I mean? So let's be real about that. There's a lot of incidences where the guy and her, they were just hooking up. They weren't even in a relationship. So a guy can't stay if they were never in a relationship to begin with. I hope I said that right. If you guys know what I'm talking about. because a lot of people always, and a lot of women make that declare, oh, the fathers are all running off and whatever. You got to remember, you got to be in a relationship before the guy could run off. If you're just a jump off, you're just a jump off. I don't know the numbers of how that happens, but that does happen in a lot of scenarios. So again, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The fathers that should be there. Again, my mother was a widowed mother, and I'm just going to use my situation as an example. How did I become the alpha male that I am? I was raised by a widowed mother. For those in the back, that's a woman that was married that lost her husband. How did I become the alpha male that I am? Because my mother ensured that I spent time with my uncles, and positive men were constantly around me. Positive men were around me. Even some of my uncles that were in the streets, they knew better than to expose me to some BS. They knew better because my mother was going to have that ass. Okay. So let's put the onus on who it is. Ladies, if you're out here dating a dude and you end up in a situation, make sure you're in a relationship. But you're going to find a lot of these women, they're not in relationships. They're in situationships.
Wonderful. So you keep bringing up single moms, right? Now we're going to talk about our community. We know that the black man, the black father, is more involved in the lives of his children more than any other father. The problem is the black father is not always in the home, as y'all like to spew off the statistics of single black mothers to the tune of 70-something%. So that means that they're not in the same household, although the fathers are still involved. So y'all keep making the single mama issue a thing, right? I always say there's a difference between being a single mother and a single woman. A single woman can have children, but the man is involved in the life. So you're not a single mama as though I'm doing it all by myself. Now, there are single mothers who are doing it all by themselves without the help of the father to any degree, okay? So I just hope we're clear about that. Also, I hate you, Donovan, I hate when y'all say that the woman has ran that man off, okay? As I always say too, if that's your seed, it shouldn't be nobody, no devil in hell or nowhere else to run you off from your child. Put the white man on her like she put the white man on y'all. But see, some of y'all don't even do it. And as I said before, a lot of y'all men, I hear this all the time. Single women keep women single. A lot of y'all men keep a lot of y'all men in the child support system and not seeing your children because they listen to some of y'all men talk about, in court, the woman always win. The court. And so a lot of y'all don't show up. And then y'all, the woman wins by default in a lot of cases. So y'all need to start showing up to these courts, hearings or whatever. And if she gives you a problem with seeing your child, you go take her to court and you put some paper on her. It's just that simple. But y'all keep talking about, it's the woman is stacked in the courts are stacked in a woman's favor. How would you know, sucker? You ain't even went to court not one time to see what the judge got to say, right? So a lot of y'all keep a lot of y'all in the child support system as well. And then you said, oftentimes they just kicking it. She knew they were just kicking it. Did he know they was just kicking it before he was sticking it? So if you say, like you said, women control sex, she control whether she had a baby, yeah, but she cannot get that baby without him. So to say that it all belongs to the woman, nah, Joker, not you, but I'm just saying in general, if you do not want a baby with a woman that you are kicking it with, then don't kick it with her in those regards, because it's on you as well, because y'all be the main ones. Go find Big Booty Betty up at the club, bring her home in the backseat of your car and get her pregnant. And then you get the papers talking about, you got a child. You need to pay, come swab your cheeks, man. While you was hitting the cheeks, come swab your cheeks. Because we want to do a DNA test because this woman is saying that you the pappy. So if she just kicking it, you just kicking it too. And we know how you have to start a baby, and that's by putting your little parts together for the little 2 minutes. Now, I also want to know, as I kind of should have said with that, where is his responsibility in all of that? You don't get to make a baby and then say, well, you should have known I was a Pookie or a Ray Ray or a clown. You should have known that. Yes, you should have known that. I'm one of those women, 100% agree. And I say this to women all the time, stop laying down with people you don't know nothing about. Like they say in the nation, take all this to court. I need to know your mama, your daddy. I need to see where you come from, to see how you think and how you were raised and all of that before we even think about getting horizontal. Because as Farrakhan said, and how to give birth to a God, you as women, because he says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it says too in his books that 75% of his work was with the woman and 25% with the man, because a woman is the one that's raising the nation, right? She's the first teacher. So a lot of that does fall on the woman, but women, while you were out there getting ready to put your legs up like goalposts, you need to vet this sucker and see what's going on with his seed, what he's eating, drinking, smoking, how he thinks, and all that other stuff before you let him impregnate you. And I also want to say this. I hear men say this a lot about the alpha. I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha. Cool. I'm with it. I need to be with me an alpha brother myself. But alpha don't always equate to being good, because alpha in some cases can be toxic, cantankerous, cannot talk to. It's
tyrannical.
my way. All of that, right? So being an alpha male, you know, that's fine. There needs to be some balance. But if you want your woman to be soft, you can't take that you are alpha or a man and you rule over her with an iron fist. Don't no woman want to be with no man like that.
Man, this is a good topic. Like I said, Vivica, give me a call. You're still looking for that good man. But let me go back to some of the things that you're saying. Demetra, my good friend, everything that you said, I do not disagree with it. I do not disagree coming from that aspect, because there's some truth to it. There's some truth to it, totally. But at the end of the day, in this society, on this planet, no matter what a man does, he is always held accountable. Always. That is why the woman goes to the child support system. She could name a man that had nothing to do with her child, and the courts hold that man accountable. There are thousands of cases where the man is not the father, but he is ruled to be the father for whatever reasons. Like you said, men, you should show up. You know, you do these things, irresponsible dudes. And like I said, I agree with you. A lot of the problem is the women are not vetting the men. But again, this man is known in the neighborhood as Ray Ray, Deontay, and all this with all the babies and all this other stuff. She knows that's the dope man. She knows all that stuff, but yet she still goes over there, because when we're young, we think we're invincible and it's not going to happen to us mentality, right? We all have that when we're younger. It's not going to happen to me. Oh, they're going to get addicted, but not me. I got a friend right now who tells me they are not addicted to weed. They've been smoking it for 20-something years, but they're not addicted. It's not going to happen to them. And I'm looking at them like, listen to what you just said. Listen to what you just said. You've been smoking weed for 20 years, but you're not addicted. This is the problem we're having. Like I said, again, the reason why a lot of responsibility is put on the woman is, like you said, the woman raises the nation. The woman is the center of whatever's going on. While I'm out there working in the field, fighting the wars or whatever I got to do as a man, I need you to raise the children to the best of your ability. And I can say your mother, my mother, a lot of people's mothers out there, they did that. They did that. While the man was out there getting it, she was making sure the kids were secure. That's why you have a high IQ education and experience and so on and so forth. However, we could go around and around and around in a circle constantly. The fact of the matter is, it has been proven statistically, children do better with a single father than they do a single mother. That's statistically been proven. The outcome, not the formative years, because like I said, everybody agrees. The formative years, when the child is like an infant, needs to be with the mother. Needs to be with the mother. But once those children are of school age or whatever, and as they grow up, they're better off with the father. And I will agree with you on this. A lot of men and women keep children from better opportunities. How many of you guys out there had uncles? You're living in the damn hood with nothing going. Nothing happening. The city's just giving the money to the migrants and everything like that. The boys club and the 4-H club has been closed down. There's nothing for the kids to do. But we will sit there and tell our kids, "Oh, don't go in the military. You know, the military is that's the white man's military. You ain't got nothing else going. Why not go? Why not go?" I've seen so many people take that opportunity to get out of that environment and do better for themselves and strive. But again, a lot of us, men and women, misery loves company. We don't want to see them do better than we are. That is why you have these older women competing with the younger women. Now Vivica Fox realizes in her prime years when she should have prioritized the man, she didn't, and now she's 62 years old begging. She's basically begging. "Hey, everybody, I'm available. Oh, all people come. You know, I'm open to all races." Yeah, now you are.
One thing I'm so glad is that I don't care for Vivica Fox as much. I don't like her opinion on a lot of stuff, but I'm so glad that she don't let no man define her. And that's the problem with a lot of y'all men out there. Y'all think that y'all gonna define women, and that's if she don't go with that definition, oh, something wrong with her. Oh, she masculine. As I always say, I ain't got to please all men. I just got to please one. That's all I got to please. I'm not on this internet trying to please everybody. But I want to go with what you said. I want to say to y'all men that keep using this, women should vet better. Yes, I think that's a given, but I also think it's a lazy argument. It is very lazy and it lacks logic and it lacks thinking. Because in that same vein, when y'all tell women to vet better, why not? Because y'all got a lot of stuff to say to the women. Y'all don't never shut up. When it comes to giving women advice, y'all need to do this, your hair, your nails, your this, your that, your this, your this. Y'all got all kinds of stuff to say. Y'all ain't got no hardly nary a peep to say about the men. Hey, man, be something to vet. When this
men are perfect.
When this woman comes to vet you, be something worth her vetting. Don't have her show up and you get sagging mentally and physically, right? You're barely getting by. You're lying all the damn time. You got 14 baby mamas, but you're telling her you got 2. Talk to the men. Tell them, keep it a buck. Stop being these Ray and Pookies. That's what baffles me. Y'all do spend a lot of time lecturing women. It's backwards. Men are supposed to lecture men. Teach men. Raise boys to men. Not yammer all on the internet all day long about what women are doing and what women ain't doing. Y'all talk about how women nag all the time. Every time I see a man on the internet, I don't care what color he is, talking about women, I'm like, they talking about us nagging? All they do is nag. My thing is, I've always been taught focus, attention flows where attention goes. So if you paying attention to the sexy reds and the bad women all the time, those are the women you're going to attract. I don't hardly see a man on the internet talking about, oh, this lovely women here. I want this kind of woman that's beautiful. Y'all never do that. Y'all always talking about some nonsense. So tell these men to be vettable, okay? Be something, sir. Be a stand-up man, okay? And let's see here. And he says men, they always held accountable. Come on, I think anybody and their mama could say that men are not always held accountable, okay? And the other thing too is you say, oh, she could just go to the child support office and that was yesterday. Nowadays they can't. That man has to be present to be on that birth certificate. Back in the day, you could say, it was Leroy Brown. Yes, it was Leroy Brown who did this to me. And they put Leroy Brown. Now Leroy Brown got to show up to the hospital and put his own name on that birth certificate. So therefore, she cannot just go to the child support office and say, oh, well, it's Leroy Brown. That was back in the day. They done fixed it a little bit, okay? But however, let's say they never fixed it. You as a man have control over where you lie your man part as well, okay? You were not some Frankenstein walking around always just, you got that weapon.
Uh-oh, I think we lost Demetra. She might come back. Hold on. So anyway, that was God working right there because she was blasphemy. That was blasphemy she was saying. But I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. I went to Demetra's father. It was like a color purple moment. And I went to him and I said, hey, I want to, get with your one daughter, the younger daughter. He said, you can't have Amanda. But you can have the other one, Demetra. She goes, she ain't fresh though. But he was like, she ain't fresh though, but you can have that one. So that was a color purple moment, whatever the deal is. Again, these are great points that we're having in this discussion, but men are always held accountable at the end of the day. Men are held accountable financially or whatever the deal is. Again, they're fixing it a little bit, but in general, a lot of states are incentivized to have somebody pay for that child, regardless if he's a father or not. That's why they put in these stupid rules like 30 days. If you don't show up, you're the forever father. It's totally ridiculous. Men are held accountable no matter what we do at the end of the day. And how do I prove that? Here's how I prove it. A woman could take her child, go to the fire department, I'm just paraphrasing. You guys don't know whatever department it is, but let's say a fire department, leave the child and walk away. Just walk away. She has no responsibility to the child anymore. But a man can't do that. I can't walk away from the child. That woman goes and puts me on child support. I'm on child support. Even though, how many situations where the guy doesn't want to be the father and the woman makes him the father anyway? There's several scenarios where that type of stuff happens. Several scenarios. So Demetra, as you were saying, can you hear me?
Donovan, you there?
Yes. Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
So anyway, y'all, my power went out. I'm not sure what happened with Donovan, how it is living in Houston. I don't know if Donovan is still talking or if, are you there?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Can you? Yeah, you were spinning around. I am so sorry, y'all. I don't know what you were saying, but it is like, I'm gonna see if I can turn this camera around. Let's see. It is like pitch dark here. I don't think that I can, but let me see if y'all can show y'all. Can you see it?
Yep, we can see it.
Did you see it?
Yep.
Are you frozen or am I frozen? Good.
You're
It's
frozen.
like pitch black out there. My God. So anyway, let's end it right here, Donovan. Okay, Donovan, close us out.
Well, again, we apologize. She lives in Houston, unfortunately, and it's the way it is. We're going to end the segment right here, which is pretty much right on time. But the end of the day is this. Let me give you a conclusion. Vivica Fox is post-wall, and post-wall usually is after you could give children and all that other stuff. Geriatric pregnancy is usually about 35 years of age. She's post-wall. Now she's looking for a man. But I think we would both agree that both sides, men and women, need to be responsible in who we have children with and who we made up with. We both need to do a better job in vetting our potential mates. But ladies, the bottom line at the end of the day is you guys, when you're in your prime, you should prioritize a mate, getting married, if that's what you want to do. You don't necessarily have to get married, but getting a mate is when you're in your prime. And that's just the truth of the matter is, because as you get older, the pickings are slim. I'm not saying you can't do it. There's a lot of attractive women out there. Demetra, her sister, so on and so on. There's a lot of attractive women out there. We're not saying you can't do it. Just that your options are significantly diminished. Significantly. So join us again later on today. Hopefully, if Demetra doesn't have any problems, we're going to be doing the show later on today. Join us then. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. 23 seats still available to go to Ethiopia. Also, do not forget to join us on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Demetri K Show, 5 p.m. Central Time, and that's on Sunday. But if things go right, if she could get back online, we will be doing the Demetri K Show later on today at 5 p.m. I'm sorry. 4 p.m. Central Standard Time in Houston if her power goes back on. So we'll see you guys then. Great show, great topic. Vivica Fox, call
5
me.
p.m.
5 p.m. Okay, gotcha. 5 p.m. Vivica, call me.
Peace.